Hello students, here we are going to discuss a new topic in basic science of 8th standard. It's ecological interaction, which is a part of biology. All the living organism lives in an ecosystem. Within this ecosystem, all these living things will interact together. Such interaction between living organisms are termed as ecological interaction. I repeat, there occurs some interaction between living things or living organisms between each other. Such interactions can be defined as ecological interactions. We can classify this ecological interaction under two subheadings. We can classify ecological interaction as positive interaction and negative interaction. Okay, ecological interaction can be classified into two. One is positive interaction and negative interaction. So let me define positive interaction and negative interaction. Positive interactions are the interaction between living things in which no one is harmed. There will be only beneficial to any of the living organism in that interaction. So it will not harm anyone. At the same time, there will be certain merits for the organism which are included in this positive interaction. At the same time, negative interactions are the interaction between organisms in which minimum one of the organism is harmed in negative interaction. Such type of interaction is called as negative interaction. Positive interaction will be only beneficiary to the living organism which is there in that interaction. At the same time, negative interaction will harm minimum any one of the organism which is there in this interaction. Let me explain the various type of positive interaction. Some of the positive interactions are, one is the mutualism and commensalism. Okay, mutualism and commensalism are examples of positive interaction. So let me explain what is mutualism and commensalism. Mutualism is the interaction between organisms in which all the partners in that interaction are equally and mutually benefited. I repeat, for example, if two organisms are interacting together, in that interaction both of the organisms are benefited. Such type of interaction are called as mutualism. It can be explained with the help of an example. Imagine an interaction between a flower and a butterfly. There occurs an interaction between butterfly and flower, and in this interaction both the partners, that is the butterfly and the flower, both are benefited. How they are benefited? Pollination occurs in flower by the action of this butterfly. So that's actually a beneficial part for the butterfly. At the same time, the butterfly can access nectar from the flower. Here the both partners of the interaction are actually equally and mutually benefited. So such type of interaction are called as the mutualism. It's an example of positive interaction. The next one is commensalism. Commensalism is the interaction between two partners or living organism in which one of them is benefited and other one is not harmed. Okay, any one of them is benefited and others are not harmed. Such types of interactions are called as commensalism. In the case of mutualism, both the partners are equally and mutually benefited. In commensalism, one is benefited and another one is not harmed. Such type of relationship is called as commensalism. The example of mutualism is the interaction between butterfly and flower. The type of interaction between algae and fungus in lichens. Lichen is a close interaction between algae and fungus. The algae produces the food and gives to fungus. The fungus protects the algae. Here both partners are equally and mutually benefited. The example of commensalism is the relationship between mango tree and vanda. Here the vanda grows on the top of the mango tree only for a support. Okay, the vanda will not harm mango tree. At the same time, mango tree provides a dwelling space for vanda. Here the vanda is benefited. At the same time, mango tree is not harmed. So that's the commensalism. Now let's talk about the negative interaction. The famous negative interactions are, or the different types of negative interactions are, one is competition. Competition. I will explain with the help of an example. Suppose the type of interaction between crop and a weed. Okay, crop means the desired plants are called as the crop and the useless plants are called as the weeds. So in a field, if crops and weeds are growing together, there occurs a competition between crop and weed. Okay, so this is a type of interaction in which initially it affects both of the partners in the interaction. That means the crop is affected, the weed is affected. The crop and weed, they will compete for the space, they will compete for the sunlight, they will compete for the nutrients in the soil. But at a particular span of time, any one of them dominates. If the crop dominates, it will destroy the weeds. If the weed dominates, it will destroy the crop. So initially it makes problem for both of the partners which are involved in this interaction. So competition is an example of negative interaction. The next type of interaction is called predation. Predation. For example, the type of interaction occurs between a lion and a rabbit. The type of interaction occurs between a lion and a rabbit. Here the lion eats the rabbit. Lion is the predator and rabbit is the prey. Predation is a type of negative interaction in which only the predator is benefited. Okay, the predator is benefited. So that is also an example of negative interaction. The next one is called as parasitism. Parasitism. You heard about parasite. With the help of an example, I can explain this. The type of relationship between a mango tree and a loranthus. Loranthus is a parasite. It's a partial parasite. Loranthus steals water from the host plant. The host plant is mango tree. Here the loranthus has special type of root. The special type of root will penetrate through the host plant and it sucks the water from the host plant. Another example is the type of relationship between cuscuta and mango tree. Cuscuta, which is a complete parasite. Okay, it sucks food and water from the host plant. So parasitism, that's example of a negative interaction. So here we classified ecological interaction into two. One is positive interaction and negative interaction. The positive interaction includes mutualism and commensalism. Mutualism is a type of interaction between living things in which both of the partners or all the members in the interaction is equally and mutually benefited. But in commensalism, one is benefited, other is not harmed. The examples of negative interaction includes competition, predation and parasitism. The type of relationship between lion and a rabbit comes under predation. The type of relationship between crop and weed is actually competition. The type of interaction between cuscuta and mango tree or loranthus or mango tree is the parasitism. Thank you.